G'day mate, Cobba here. Just cracked myself a cheeky little beverage and about to rip into a 300k icon tier list maker. I'm a bit cashed up on the RTG at the moment, sitting between not being able to afford Messi and wanting to save for Neymar and Mbappe. So I'm gonna potentially dip my toe into the icon waters. I've just gone and assembled this list and then synced it up to Footbin so you can see the player and their stats and stuff at the same time. So I hope you appreciate that. That took me like legit half an hour to do that and get all the pictures in and stuff. If you want to do this tier list maker yourself, I'll have the link in the description below so you can go and have a run at it. But 300k of these kind of icons is often where we sit, where you can't quite afford the good ones and so on. So I think it's a really nice place to start. Let's get stuck in. We're going to run through. I'm going to try and put them into the right section. So I've got meta, obviously speaks for itself, has an impact, so not quite meta, but you will feel them make a difference, especially say you're playing foot friendlies and managerial masterpiece. Next up, you got meh, a bit meh, but they have good links. You get your chemistry. Next round is many disappoint, and then the last one is bin chicken. So what that means, like if you're not an Aussie, we have ibises, and they're just little trash can eaters. Just basically means they're rubbish. So discard that bad boy. All right, let's get stuck in. So starting off with Yashin, 6'2" altogether, but with him being 300k, I really feel like you're pretty much looking at meh but links. He's going to get you links into your team if you need them, but other than that, you're not really going to be wanting to spend $300 on a player of that nature. Up next is the Nettie, left back with 88 pace, decent defending, pretty poor at jumping, but I think with as many cheap left back options that you have, I really don't feel like you're going to want to be kind of busting to get him into your team. So I'd give him, I'll pop him into has an impact. I think he's a really good player, especially if you brought him maybe into more central areas like CDM, that sort of thing. But where he sits out at left back, no, he's sitting at has an impact for me. If you disagree with anything, obviously you're going to put him in the comment section below. And as I said, you're more than welcome to give this a go yourself and see what you think these players should be. All right, 4-star weak foot, medium work rates, massive shooting, pretty poor passing, physicals. I'm going to go and put Baster in here. It has an impact, but not someone that I'm breaking my back to get into my team. You also notice on the sides we've also got like how many in-game stats and how popular they are. All right, let's kick on. Big boy Peter Schmeichel, a bit of a monster in net, but you really don't want to be spending all that money just to get an icon into your team. So I'm going to put him there for the link factor, but that's about it. Okay, next up, Hierro, 86 rated, really good if you're trying to build a lower rated team. Has 75 pace, which I think is the cutoff point. High defensive work rates, really good defensive stats at 87, 6'2". I feel like he fits the meta. I'm going to put him in meta because not only does a 75 meet the pace mark, but also you can build him into, like if you're doing foot friendlies and you want to put that lower rated squad, and you can get in another at least 85 rated player into your team. So he's going to be my first one that gets into the meta, especially just because you're looking at the budget point as well at 290k. There are, you can go get, say, a Varane for 200 who is a little bit quicker, but I think he's got the meta. I think he can slip into the meta. Just Makalele at right mid, I'm going to throw that for meh but links. I just think right mid's such a valuable position to be taking that up with someone who is a central player or playing him on 7 chem. I'm going to put him in with meh but links. He will have an impact for your team, but I just feel like when you're building this squad, that's going to be a real pain in the neck. Now again, Van Basten, 91 rated, medium low work rates. He's just not quite quick enough. For him, I'd say I'm going to put him in here for many disappoint, and that's just because of the fact that he's such a high rated card, and at that high rating with such low pace, like that disappoints me that you can't get more out of him. He has like decent in-game stats, but I just feel like for a 91 rated card of his nature, you should really be making an impact for your team. And with those medium low work rates, he's just never in the right position. You can play him as a cam if you want to, but I play a 4-4-2 and I don't want a cam. All right, next up, when it does come to a cam, this Hadji card, 4-star, 86 pace, good shooting, good passing, really good dribbling as well. He's not bad. He might be someone that I need to give a bit of a whirl. I've never actually used this card, so I'm going to go and put him into has an impact. He might be sharp in that. I think without the defensive abilities as well to play him in the guts of the field, he's not going to quite be the meta, but I'll give him a whirl. I reckon he'll have a pretty good impact on the game. When I've used him on the draft, he's always been pretty good for me. So Pep Guardiola, I feel like he fits the meta, especially at this point in the game. He has good enough pace. He's got good shot power in his shot, even though the finishing isn't fantastic. The passing's there, the defending's there, and he'll get by for now. He's got the medium high work rate, so you're probably going to want to play him in a 4-1-2-1-2. But he kind of just slips through. I might drop him down to has an impact. Actually, I don't think he's quite the meta, but he will be definitely handy for you. Ashley Cole, 87 rated, high attacking work rates, medium defensive work rates, bit of an issue. Good pace, but not brilliant pace. And defensive stats, obviously, really, really strong, getting those icon links. I'm going to put him in again into has an impact. I feel like he's very good, but not getting that like icon quality, if you know what I mean. Wanting him just because he's just so great. Now, Clive 88 rated. I actually used Clive a lot last year. High-low work rates, I really like that. The pace is good, but it's not brilliant. But he's strong. He's strong, and when he gets through, he does finish his chances. And he's got a pretty good long shot on him as well. If you get around the edge of the 18, he will crack it in. So I'm going to go and actually put Clive into just purely just because I enjoy his card a lot, and I like the high-low work rates and the paces there. I'm going to put him into an icon that fits the meta. He's worthwhile. He just like gets in there by the skin of his teeth, but I do think that he is good enough. Nesta, 88 rated, 270k. All of these players are listed at the moment from most expensive to least expensive as well, just so that you guys know that. So we have Nesta, high work rates, 70 pace, but a really rock solid centre back. You're playing on drop back, 1 depth. Not that I'd encourage that, but he's actually really good for that. So again, I'm going to throw him into has an impact. You'll notice there's not a lot of players in the main disappoint or bin checking. Wait till we get lower. There'll be plenty in those sections. Now Barnes, a player that I think's really slept on. 61 defending and all the other stats up in the 80s. 6 foot tall, medium work rates. A card that I just feel like should be used by way more people, and I just don't understand why he isn't used by way more people. Did I lose his card off here? Why is John Barnes not up where I can see him? It says his shaved head version. I went through and organised all of these, so if he's not there, I must have lost his card. I can see his other card here, but that's for later on. I don't know. I must have sketched out on that one, lads. Sorry about that. But I will take this other one now, and I'm going to throw him up into the meta category. I think that he should be used by way more people, and he just isn't, so that's a bit of an oversight for me. If I do see his card in here again. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. So I've got him, and then I'll have to chuck that one back down to where it came from, which I have no clue. I'm just going to chuck it here and see where that goes later. Anyway, I digress, and we move on. Hierro Ruiz. This one's medium. He's 89 rated. Doesn't have that high defensive work rate. He is 71 pace instead of 75 pace, and obviously better defensive stats. See, that's not as good. That's it's going to have an impact, but it's not going to be what you want to see, really. I'd go for the lower rated card, to be honest. If that's just me personally. And then we move on to Reichardt, bit of a boss in the middle, low medium work rate, so he's not really going to be kind of being felt as much around the field, but could even slip him into centre back. The work rate's being okay there. 6'2", decent defensive stats. I think he's pretty meh, to be honest. Like he should be really offering a lot more than he does. So when it comes to Reichardt, he's going to end up for me being basically into the meh category. If you think that I'm wrong, let me know. But I reckon he's pretty meh, to be fair. Peter Cech, 6'5", nice and tall, getting some good links. But again, meh with links. We're zipping through here. Riquelme, a player that has 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, medium low work rates, a little bit of pace on him, good dribbling, good passing. But other than that, I think he's pretty meh, to be fair. Like if you're a skiller or whatever, then you might find an impact with him. But he can skill and then not break past people because he's so slow. So, I mean, what's really the point? Where on the other hand, we've got Lampard up to 76 pace with good long shots, and he actually can defend quite well. High medium work rates. His stamina's decent too. So I think that when it comes to Frankie Lamps, I'm happy to get him into has an impact. I don't think he quite fits the meta, but you'll definitely feel the benefit of having that icon in your team. As I take stock right now and look through, I'm pretty happy. I feel like you'll feel the meta of those three up top. Those lads will all have an impact. I think Ashley Cole is a bit more meh, but has links, to be honest. you're not really going to be having a game changer with him. You pull him into centre back, you might feel it a little bit more, but not so much. Paul Scholes. Now, Paul Scholes is a card that I've considered quite a bit and have used quite a bit as well. Like Lampard, he can hit them from distance. He's got a really good passing range and decent physicals and so on there. High medium work rates, 3-star, 3-star. I wouldn't feel comfortable having Scholes any higher than when I've got Lampard, so I'm going to put him in there next to Lampard, and it's purely because I enjoy his card. Ian Wright with 85. Now, you've got to think about when it comes to 85, that's quite beneficial for friendlies as well because of the overall rating. 91 pace, no skill moves, just the 4-star weak foot, medium work rates as well. And as a big Arsenal fan, a big Righty fan, I don't think he is like quite the meta even at this point in the game cycle. There's like a player like Dembele who goes for 3k, obviously doesn't get the icon links and isn't a central player, but like if you compare them, they're miles in between. So I'm going to put Righty. It has an impact, especially because I just like him as a person in general and as a footballer, but he's not going any higher than that for me. Costa, a player that I think used to be appreciated a lot more by the FIFA community and now is not looked at as much. And he's got good pace, good dribbling, good shooting, good physicals, interesting work rates for a central card. Obviously can't defend. He can only really play as a cam. You can't put him up to a striker. And because of that, I'll put him down at meh, but has links, just because I think the big meta this year, you need to have box-to-box midfielders or quick strikers, and he's not going to offer that for you. And if I put them in meh but has links, I'm going to pick every single one of the players above before I pick him, and I reckon I would in that case. So I'm going to say meh but has links on him. Then we go down to Ian Rush, a card that I to be fair, I haven't used a lot, so I'll try and hold my opinion as much as I can. I like his work rates. He's a little bit slow, great shooting, good physicals, good dribbling, 5'11", 250k, an interesting nation to get links. Again, I'm going to throw him into the meh category as we move on further and further. And next down we have Shevchenko, who's a little bit cheaper, 1 rating less, same work rates, same weak foot, skill moves, tiny bit quicker, pretty similar in general. And Shevchenko is handy. He's handy. You'll feel the benefit of him, but that's about it. It's where it ends. Trezeguet, again, similar rating, similar pace, similar work rates. Does have the 4-star skill moves. I actually think that he's really disappointing. Every rendition of his card, and I've tried to use his card many times, I just think he doesn't offer a lot. I like this Crespo a lot. Next on the list is Crespo. Unfortunately, he's not the next on my set of icons to throw in there, so I must have not arranged him properly. But Crespo, with his skill moves, with his pace, with his shooting, and he's quite a bully, and he's lean. I think his lean body type, like it just gets in the gaps, the ball gets stuck and so on. I really like using Crespo's card, so Crespo is the next to go in, and it seems like I must have lost him in my organisation of putting the cards together. So if he appears later, I'll be sure to put him in appropriately up into the meta, because I do think for his price, I reckon he is one of the best icons that you have there in that price point at 240k. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying him out. I wouldn't even mind reviewing him if there is a want for that, and you guys would appreciate that. So Crespo, yeah, a good potential option from the icon front, as I'm scanning and killing time right now trying to find it, but I can't see him there. He'll probably pop up later. All right, Inzaghi, 90 rated. He's slow. He's away. So look, there's an Inzaghi down there. In he goes. There's an Inzaghi. In he goes. Any more Inzaghis? Because all of Inzaghi's cards in the current meta, the crossing days are gone on FIFA 18, and there's Inzaghi in the bin, gobbling away on the garbage. While we're at it, why don't we speed up a bit more time? Riquelme's bin, too slow. Litmanen, bin, garbage. Let's go to the back page. Nakata, bin. That's his last version. Trezeguet, bin. That one. Larson, bin. Trezeguet, bin. Good. Okay, a couple ticked off the list for later. I told you there was going to be some going into the bin. Now, Veron, for all you McGill fans out there, quite a well-rounded player, Veron, actually. I think that Veron will definitely have an impact for your team. Barassi, with a shadow on him, monster. High defensive work rates. 5'9", so a little bit short, but passing's decent, dribbling decent, and then he's going to offer you quite a bit of quality back there. So I'd say he's going to have an impact, not quite meta, but definitely have an impact for you. JJ Kocha with the 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, horrible stamina, horrible pace, but a bit of fun. I think I'm going to throw him in the meh, but has links. He's quite a frustrating card. And as I look to put him in there, probably the best meh card I think I've put in so far, but I would prefer to use all of these cards before I use him. Maybe you go down, but yeah, that's how it sits for me. And then we have Van Nistelrooy's 90 rated card. Again, really good attacking positioning on this card. Good strength, decent shooting, good work rates as well. If you just want that finisher, you'll feel the impact, but I don't think he's quite the meta. Not quick enough, doesn't have the weak foot either. And that's page number 1 done. On to page number 2. Cheeky little Carlos Puyol at right back, who you could pull into centre back. And if he was a centre back, then he would fit right up here into the meta. But because he's on 7 chem out on that right hand side, I'm going to chuck him into the has an impact. Otherwise, he would have slipped up top. Now, I'm a decent, I would say, yeah, a pretty decent fan of Robbie Kane. Roy Kane. What am I on? Roy Kane. He's got good enough pace, but not brilliant pace. He's strong. He's physical. He can boss the midfield. High defensive work rates. Doesn't really offer you a lot getting forward. So unless you're playing like a 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-3-1-2 or something of that nature, he's not going to really fit in your team that brilliantly. But again, I think he's quite a solid card. And a card that will have an impact for your team, but not too much more than that. Closer, I'm putting him in the bin because every time I use him, I think he's going to be great and offer me links and so on. And yeah, but that's it. He disappoints. That would be a more adequate way of putting it. He's disappointing. Lampard is less disappointing. I think this version of his card a lot cheaper, just because of how quickly he gets around the field. I think this one here is, it's all right. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as say it's going to have a huge impact. It's decent. It has links. It's pretty similar to Reichardt in that case. Petit, I think it will have a big impact for you, even though he's left back. You put him into CDM and he actually can boss pretty hard for you because of his pace and his strength and his stamina and his work rate. So quite a good option at centre mid if you want to use him at a left back and then bring him across to centre mid, especially with all of the foot freeze cards available at the moment. And then we move on to Bergkamp's centre forward card. Good dribbling on him. He can turn and twist and be an option, but not enough pace for your striker. So definitely not the meta. He can make a difference for you, and I'm happy to slot him into the impact position. There's Crespo that we talked about earlier. He's going to go up top for me. And then we have Kluivert, who again high low work rates, good pace on him, decent shot on him, not as good of a long shot as we saw before, passing and so on. I think this one has an impact. I think at the start of the game he would have been meta. He's probably just out of the meta now. But nonetheless, he gets to slip in there. I just want to make sure I got the right Kluivert in the right position there. I think I do. Yeah, that's good. Cool. We have Bobby Moore. Who's quite handy. That's his quicker version. That's his 70 pace version. Get a shadow on there or the kind of a pace booster, and I think you'll feel the full benefits, and he's just slipping in, still keeping an impact at this point in the game cycle, and one that you kind of will regularly pack. Larson for me is actually quite disappointing. He just doesn't finish his chances, and he's such slow to react. He's a really frustrating card. I've got a bit of a history with Larson, and Larson does frustrate me a lot, and so too does Alan Shearer. One of the most disappointing icon cards I think I've used over time. I quite like Giggsy. He's got poor weak foot, and he's a waste of money for what you pay, but I think he's met with links. He will kind of help you patch up, like you play left mid and centre mid in a 4-3-3. He'll help extend that. Barnes, again, I think the Barnes cards definitely need a bit more respect on their name. Good work rates, good pace, strength, finishing. He's really good. I can't complain about him whatsoever. This Ian Rush here is, I think he'll have an impact for your team, but isn't huge. The same goes for Laudrup. He's got decent skill moves and pace and so on. His finishing's a little bit poor though. So again, impact. This Bobby Moore, I'm going to put him into many disappoint. And Rudy Costa again, he's I think quite disappointing, just not well rounded enough. This Pires is decent. I do quite rate this Pires. He's quick. He's got a good long shot on him, even though his shooting is on the 80. He dribbles. He's strong. He's tall. And I think not enough people respect that card, and I'm actually going to throw him up to having an impact as well. And then when it comes to Coman, if Coman had like 5 more pace, I'd put him in meta. He's such a well-rounded card, a really good card to put into centre mid for like a box-to-box midfielder, because of his long shots and his passing strength and so on. So I can definitely put him in that has an impact, but you want to play him more as a centre mid, not a centre back, which means you're going to need someone in your starting 11 at centre mid. You're going to drop back to centre back. Maybe like, it depends. I'm not going to offer any suggestions that depend on your team and so on. Littmanen, bin. Scalzi in the slower version. I'm going to put him into, again, to have an impact. He's quite good in the centre mid. This card here that we have in the form of Lineker, okay pace, good work rates, good weak foot, can finish really well, and I'm going to have him on impact time. And then we have Vieri, 86, good work rates, pretty similar really to Lineker. So Vieri, I'm going to give him, I think if I'm going to give Lineker an impact, then I'll give him impact as well. And then we have Owen, nice and sharp with his pace, but at 84 doesn't really do him justice. He was a pretty big pace merchant when he played, and I still can't believe he won the Ballon d'Or, but that's a different thing. I'm putting him in a meh just because I'm not a big Owen fan. And then the other version of Vieri that's slightly quicker and a little bit, not quite as strong, but similar to the other version. I'm going to again put him in a meh, not a fan. Nakata, this is his 86 rated card, medium, 4-star, 4-star. Not loving it. I'm going into the disappoint there. This Overmars is okay because of his 5-star weak foot and pace. Deco is meh. This Pires is disappointing. This Raul, now Raul is, I think this Raul, now this is going to be real contentious. I'm putting him up into the meta because he gets a lot of good links. He's high medium, he's 4-star, 4-star. He's got good shooting curve, and he just slips in. He would be the weakest one there for me, but he just slips in as a viable option. This Ian Wright, I'm giving meh. This Deco, meh. Van Nistelrooy, meh. Disappoint. Meh. Shearer, disappointing. Closer, disappoints. And then that leaves us with, on the final page, this Lodrip card, who's left wing with medium, 82 pace, which I think is pretty disappointing. So, that's the list as it stands. If I was to bring one in, it leaves me with a few decent options. I've got the tick of approval on these two. I know I've used them a bunch. The Spaniards, the Barnes cards, this Crespo, I think is it's the shining light here out of all these cards. If there's one that I think I really want to try, then it's got to have to be Crespo, because of his low rating, which means he'll fit into Foot Friendly's managerial masterpiece. I think he might be a tasty little option to try out, as long as I can get him at a good price. All right. As I said, if you want to give it a crack yourself, then feel free to jump on and have a go. I'll have the link in the description. That's all from me today. If you've stuck through to the end, you're an absolute legend. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content and motivate me to make more content for you guys. Until next time, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.